I had to order this from TikTok because I'm easily influenced, so let's go ahead and get started on her face. It says to shake really well, and then you spray 2 to 3 inches from the face. And y'all, you can really see the hair here. When I say the hair is hairing, it is hairing. Look at this. Her husband was cackling the entire time. Just wait till you hear him in this next clip.
Oh my God.
To make sure we got it all, I just did a couple different layers, and then we found this little straggler. And I went straight in with the little tool that came with it, and y'all, look at this hair. It really was so thick, and we didn't realize it until you put this hair identifier on it. It was wild. Y'all, this is just one swipe down. Look at this patch. Ugh. Anyways, back to what you're here for. Look at the hair coming off, y'all. No joke. It was a huge difference. Look at that patch. Look at the hair. But seriously, I was so impressed by this because I knew when I seen this product, I wanted to get a hold of my sister's face.
All right, the hair identifier spray. You have seen it all over social media. It has gone viral many times. What it does is it highlights your hairs to make it easier for you to shave. We're going to be talking about what we think about this. Is it safe? Is it effective? Is it something that you should be doing? Spraying your face with a hair identifier before you shave? Dry shaving? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the hair identifier spray, we're gonna actually do this in this video for you so you can see what it looks like and what our experience is with it. Now, the one that you're seeing in the video and the one that's gone viral on social media like crazy is this one from SKNBODY. And I just want to read you in the ingredient list and explain to you why I'm not going to be using that one on my face. So this particular product, first ingredient is alcohol. Fine. I don't like alcohol, it burns my face. Other people don't seem to mind it as much. Butane, propane,
what?
isobutane. So otherwise, I mean, this is literally an aerosolized product with propane in it, which is flammable, and you shouldn't be breathing it in. I would not want to be blowing this directly in my face, I'll be honest with you.
Kind of wild. Like, the cut-in I want here is actually him lighting this on fire like a torch, because has anyone ever thought of putting propane on their skin? Butane on their skin? I like the highlight from their website. It says, skin-loving ingredients infused with botanical extracts not only improves visibility, but cares for your skin. This particular product, like
zero skin-loving ingredients. Well, let's talk about the practicality of this. We'll be using a different hair identifier spray that has a much better ingredient list, but before we get into it, let's talk about the practicality of what's happening here. I will say this, you know, when it first started going, I was like, what is the usefulness of this? It looks great on social media, it's very visual, but is there actually like a benefit to somebody who does shave their face in using this product? And I actually do think there's a benefit to this, because if you do skip a few hairs because you're in a rush or you miss them and the lighting is not great wherever you are, it is really annoying when you are in your car mirror or you're out somewhere and you realize you missed an entire line of hair. For me personally, I've actually seen it happen to him before where he's got a straggler up here or so, or I a lot of times will miss hairs on my neck. So I actually do understand the practicality of this, especially if you're somebody who has like blonder hairs that you can't really notice well. This is a way to kind of highlight and identify them. Now, do I think this is something that you need to do all the time, very often? It doesn't have to be every time you shave, but maybe like once a week or, you know, once every 2 weeks to make sure that you didn't miss any stragglers that could get out of control.
Can say it could be helpful. But again, you know, is it really something you have to incorporate? For most people, I would say absolutely not. Like Dr. Shaw mentioned, for dark hairs, like for facial hair like this, it's unnecessary. Having said that, yes, I often miss spots, especially on my neck. It is just life. But beyond identifying, my other thought with this too, because similarly, my initial take was like, it's not necessary. It could be helpful. But when is the last time you dry shave?
I actually dry shave every day.
Every day, okay.
So this is what happens with me. I use an electric trimmer on my neck and I dry shave the line on my face. The slip would make it very difficult for me to line my beard up the way that I do. So I line my beard up myself with a straight razor. And when I line up my beard with a straight razor, I do it on dry skin. So you are dry shaving here. And some people say dry shaving is not great. Dry shaving is going to exfoliate that top layer of the skin, very similar to dermaplaning. So this is something that you got to be very careful doing because it could be irritating to people's skin. But if you use the right angle and the right pressure, it is relatively safe. It can make you a little bit more prone to ingrown hairs, but if you're not prone to ingrown hairs, especially on the face, I think it's perfectly fine.
And that's kind of just tailored towards you. Know your skin. The coarser and thicker your hairs, I think the worse this is going to be. For light, fine hairs, like almost lanugo hairs that were shown in the video, those will be pretty simple, pretty easily removed with dry shaving as well.
And the second part of this is about shaving the face in general. As a woman or somebody who doesn't want, who thinks that it's going to make your hair grow back thicker, this is a common debate. I know many women who shave their faces. I know many dermatologists who shave their faces. It does not make your hair grow back thicker, but while it's growing back in initially, because the hairs are blunt, they can be a little bit more obvious than when they completely grow out, because when they grow out, the ends are a little bit more narrow and they just look thinner in general. But when you shave at the base, it can look thicker temporarily. Now, some people will debate, well, if it looks thicker, then it is thicker, right? But it's just thicker at the base because it's blunter, essentially. So it's not making your hair grow back thicker. It's not something to worry about. I know many people that shave, women who shave, and it's a completely safe thing to do. So if you're somebody who wants to shave the face, doesn't want to thread, doesn't want to wax, doesn't want to go through those hair removal processes, then shaving the face is a perfectly safe and effective thing to do for women. And it will also help your makeup layer better. It will help your skincare ingredients penetrate the skin better because you are doing a light exfoliation on the skin, similar to dermaplaning.
Right, and don't forget, there's a reason you're shaving. Your trajectory, apparently, like most humans, is you're going to grow more hair over time in areas you don't want it. The body changes, that's life. So if you do nothing, you will still get more hair. That's why you're shaving. So if you shave, it may appear that you're getting more thicker hair, but that's just how it was already going. All you're doing is you're removing it temporarily.
I wanted to bring up a similar anecdote. So there's an old myth that goes around that says that if you pluck your white hairs, you'll get two in its place. Well, that's what happened to me. I got like my first white hairs, I plucked them, and I got a lot more white hairs. But I didn't get more white hairs because I plucked my white hairs. I got more white hairs because I was gonna get white hairs, and now I have more white hairs. And so very similarly, it's not because your hair is getting thicker or you're growing more hair. It's just because that was the natural progression of things, and you just started shaving because that progression started to occur. So don't panic. It is perfectly safe to shave the face. Now, let's go into our demonstration here. Okay, so the one that we are going to be using is from a company called Jill. This is a facial razor company. They have some really nice razors that I use when I travel because they're plastic, and similar to the company Billy, they will send you replacement blades at whatever cadence you want them at. But they also have a hair identifier spray that is much better for the face if you wanted to use this product. So again, not necessary, but if you wanted to use it, a much safer product. So this ingredient list, just to go through it, is rice powder, starch, maize starch, oat flour, niacinamide, and potassium sorbate. So very, very simple formula, something that is, and with niacinamide, that is a skin loving ingredient. So let's try to do this. Okay. Is it working?
There you go. There it that looks awful. Although the ingredients in this one are great, like this is a gentle formulation, the the dispersion in practical utility is a little bit subpar. Okay, so let me try two. There we go. This is not great. Yeah, I don't understand.
2 hours later.
So if you notice a change in the background, it's because we actually had given up on the product entirely, but Dr. Shaw found another one. So after cleaning up, after washing our faces, he actually found a better version of this product.
Okay, so I don't know what happened. I must have had an old version of the product. We were both super disappointed while we shot this video. We gave it a negative review. We said it didn't work at all. And then I was literally washing up and I looked up on my countertop and I'm like, wait, this is not the same packaging. So this must be a new version of the product. So we have a second version of the same product from Jill. This is their Magic Spray Hair Identifier Spray. And I believe this is their new version because we tested on our arm and it looks like it's spraying a little bit better than it did before. So we will try it again. And if our review stands or doesn't stand, we will TBD, we will find out, okay?
There we go. Ooh. Get a little photo. Pretend this is dandruff. It's blackmail.
All right. Oh yeah. This is significantly better. Is it highlighting the hairs?
Yeah, it's definitely sitting on the hairs better.
Nice.
I'm gonna do it on my arm here to give, I feel like, oh, okay, so there's a technique here.
You gotta be further back.
It has to be vertical, have to be a little further back, or you get these little clumpy patches. Still kind of difficult though, I will say.
I think you gotta do it at a distance. Yeah, see that?
Yeah. How come you
Way
get such
better.
better sprays? Are you just much stronger than me?
But look at your hairs. Look at his hairs. Can we see him?
There we go. Now I know you can see them. Look.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So it does highlight the hairs. Now the key is this. If you just do like a little spray, it doesn't work. Big pump from a distance perfectly highlights the hair. So that's how it works. It does work. You have to get the technique down because this is not an aerosol like the other product. It's not going to give you an even spray on its own. So it's very much manual. It is a little bit difficult to figure out, but it did end up working. It is a mess though. So just make sure that wherever you're doing this in an area where it's not going to get all over everything that's really important to you. It is just like, you know, rice flour, rice powder, and oat flour. So it's perfectly fine to get on things. It's not going to destroy anything, but just keep that in mind.
There's definitely a correct order to doing this too. So when I shave, I'm typically clothed. When you do this, you do not want to be dressed for the day. You will have to start all over. If you're going to use the hair identifier, be in your skinnies, use it, then finish your routine.
You know what I just realized? I have ear hair. This highlighted hairs on my ear. Do you see the hairs on my ear?
AGE.
Oh man, it has begun. Okay, so this does work. Whatever the newer version I found definitely works. But there's a certain technique to it. You know, this is something you're gonna wanna do maybe like once a week to make sure you're cleaning up all the hairs, especially if you're like me and you now get hair on your ears that you otherwise can't see. This could be a good place to start so you don't get that straggler that everyone points out to you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I think overall, for me, I think this is not necessary at all. Shaving the face is perfectly safe, but this is something that you could add to your routine if you want to make sure you don't miss any spots, but avoid the one that has all the propane in it and go for something that's a little bit safer.
Yep, not necessary. This is skincare you might not need, but might want.
Skincare you don't need, but you might want. That falls perfectly in line with our series. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.
See you next time.